Hendrik Kohl, who have experience on implemented nature-based solution for environmental challenges such as like flooding, stormwater management, and biodiversity enhancement. So, okay, hi. Hi, Mr. Kohl. First of all, we would like to know more about your journey. So could you please share why you started on the defining moment that led you to establish the impact forest UZ? Yeah, that's my question.
Yes, actually, excuse me. I have an echo. I have to. So there's a technical issue about. Excuse me, 1 second, because I have two computers connected.
Okay, it's okay. We can relay to.
Yes.
Yes.
I will turn
Yeah,
this
now I hear you okay.
Yes. Yeah, now it is better.
Oh, yeah, it's still recording.
Yeah, maybe I will turn this off. Okay, I had to switch off the other computer. Okay. Yes. First of all, thank you for having me. It is a great pleasure, and I was listening really with great pleasure that you are doing great jobs and great work and development. Yeah, I came to this decision to build up Impact Forest quite a few years ago because I had been living 30 years in Milan, in a town of many towns, many cities, many metropolis around the world, in which, yeah, I mean, the tendency is still that we are more headed towards towns and towards urban areas. I personally grew up directly in front of the forest when I was a kid, which was a thing which I always thought was a great gift in my growing up, because I was catching fish with my hands, was planting, was living with gardening. Besides that, I came from an entrepreneur family. And so, well, I worked with organic farming. I worked in many fields. I did business development. I was in the internet when there was not even an internet cafe in Italy. I live in Italy, yes, and my companies, I have 2 companies in Frankfurt, in Germany, where I lived many years. And I grew also up. I'm an Austrian citizen. So I started to think about the greenery in Milan, in this town, which is getting really hot in the summer. And so I found that the approach towards trees and towards greenery, let's say, first of all, trees, because now tree seems to be a winning formula, which is not the only, it's part of a big thing to do. So the trees are social beings. That's the first thing. Trees can only function if the soil and the water, the microorganism, the fungi, and everything in its complexity is working. And then you will have benefits. So this is the first thing which I thought has to be the impact, yes? Because if you go around in the towns, even in the countryside, in agriculture, in the gardens, green can be something which is just like a green paint, or it can be something which is an ecosystem, yeah? An ecosystem is a thing which is effective, which works as something which brings something which is most of all bringing nearly perfect issues about environment, about heat assumption, about oxygen, about CO2 if you wish, and about many benefits even for the citizens. So with this, 4 or 5 years ago, I already worked in gardening and in I started to work with the Miyawaki excuse me, methodology, which is really fantastic. And it is based on very dense planting, and together with soil enhancement, because the soil is much more important than everything. We have to keep the water and the vitality, the life in the soil, and then there is the tree. All the plants, also plants are very healthy. So yes, and I started to to develop this company, Impact Forest. Yeah, and I'm very happy with this because the benefits are immense.
Yeah, I also happy when I hear your stories too, and I think you're like, oh, trees is social being, and I hear the keyword about like the importance of soil on keeping the water and other important things. That's it's really true, and I feel like touching when I hear your story growing up at like a young kids from the forest and until now to found something related to the environments. So I want to ask a question related to the vision of Impact Forest and reflecting on the achievements of the Impact Forest. What impact do you believe planting trees and building gardens has on our planet's health? So because you mentioned about like the importance of soil and the trees, I totally agree on that. But we want to know more about the impact. Do you believe like on planting trees and also building the garden? So yeah, we'd love to hear that.
Yes, so there has to be said a few things. I really appreciate, because there are many, 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 many good entrepreneurs wish from all the societies, from citizens, to do something. What I feel is that there's a lot of confusion, and that the effectiveness of what we do is the most important. And on top of this, there is a human being who has to work together. So if we can find systems or situations in which we have our communities planting, doing socially effective things, then we can win something. And this is a thing which can be done with tree plantings, with water retention. I say also water planting. We plant water, actually. We work with soil. That is very important. And what I found is, well, all the world is too much theoretical. Yeah, our schools, we're sitting only in front of theoretic things. We have to go out, get dirt in our hands, work together, and everything will go well. I could see that problems in schools, like teacher towards students, like bullying, like puppeteering situation of growing ups, and in companies especially. Community plantings can bring peace, can bring something which is you don't see in no situation. I really found that this is a game changer. Yeah, so community plantings, as I said, gardens, small forests. This Miyawaki forest consists of small forests like 100 square meters, or even 50 sometimes, small size. But you know, if we have many spots and we are communities working together, getting dirt under our fingernails, working with nature, this can heal our society and can bring companies also to benefit from this. Yeah, well, and the larger impact is clear. I mean, we have now, first of all, one global crisis, and this is called water. Yeah, before you can plant a tree, you have to have water. So we have to integrate water, soil, and plants together. And in our building of everything, this has always been in some box, and we have to bring this in front of everything. Once we find effectiveness also with analyzing, with artificial intelligence, with technologies, which we can measure what we are doing, is this well done? Is this effective? Then we can have a change.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear the keyword like we need to get our hand dirty and we need to do something together for the nurture. So I find it's really touching at the story you mentioned before. So you mentioned a lot about community engagement. And can I ask you a question like how do you inspire participation and foster community engagement and educate people about tree planting and garden development? Because like yeah, we all agree like the importance of like invite the people, the companies, and also the people, the local community to join together. But how you inspired and you like ask them and to educate the people to join to do it with you? We would like to hear that.
Yes, for sure. I mean, that is actually the thing about the communities, companies already working in the field, because as I said before, there is a lot of really good guys and women, boys, and companies out there which are doing really beautiful things. One thing is we have to all understand that, yeah? And so there is something about communication in schools and in our education, which has to be adjusted. Because what I could see in schools, that this approach about we all cultures in the world had the correct approach on nature once. Yeah, even if we already made mistakes a few thousand years ago, which had an impact, which was could be seen. The Peninsula of Sinai was a jungle only 3,000 years ago, which is a huge area, and because of mismanagement. So we have to understand, we have to learn about old culture, and this is a thing we are now bringing in. When I talk to schools, to companies, and this, there has to be absolutely a thing which is really that we can get so much involved. And we are now doing community days. We are teaching, we are working on webinars, which is a thing which is now upcoming. We are defining the way to, we are making water and planting days. And so, because once I talk to the people, they say, hey, what can I do? How can I participate? Yes. And it is not a rocket science to heal the soil. We're working with biochar. We are working with terra preta, which is the most healthy soil in the world. And this was developed 2,000 years ago, because with biochar and terra preta, we can do marvelous things. Yeah. And so we are teaching communities the ways to do by themselves with composting and with terra preta production and with plant. So we have communities which go out and plant together, and this brings peace and brings activities and something else, instead of making a political issue out of climate change and our social change. It has to be, it's me, I can do something. Let's go.
Yeah, I see. I hear you well. I really love the question. Like, how can I participate when we see a problems and when we want to join? So we ask the question, how can I participate to like join the hand together? I really love that. But like I assume maybe on the way you work with the community, invite them to join with you, maybe you face some challenges. So That's why I want to ask question like, could you please share with us about the more challenges that you experienced during the community developing in the early stage, and how did you overcome all of these challenges? So yeah, we would love to hear that.
Yes, actually, that is a quite complex thing because, okay, we had COVID, yeah, COVID-19, which, yeah, not everything can be rules online, yeah, or an outsourcing, as we better call it, yeah. So that's why also I really work now on the communities, yeah, because once you get out in nature and you can work things out together, and you have this great success thing, yeah. So the tree is there, the plant is there, the soil is there, the water is being kept in the ground, which is the most important thing, the water, yeah. Sorry, I have to repeat that. The most important thing is the water in the ground. We never do irrigation in the beginning, a few days, but that's okay. But we never do irrigate. Yeah, and then the thing is, by that, we had quite a few difficulties to come over, yeah, because I mean, there has always to be a clear concept, and there has always to be a functioning thing, and well, unfortunately, not everybody in this game for doing something for climate change is so, as you say in spiritual sense, a bodhisattva, yeah, which means, okay, I would really love to do something for the earth, for the planet, for the other. I'm a superhero. No, we are together on this planet. We have to work. And I faced quite a few issues. Well, I'm many years that I'm working as an entrepreneur, and I would have to tell you that I didn't expect that, because
Yes,
I thought people are more conscious that what we are doing should be a common game, working together, but it is not like this. We always have to see, is this for everybody or is this for one? So let's work together. That's what I can say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see. So I really love the idea, like you say, everything is there, the solid, the water, the trees. So maybe we're not the superhero, but like if we do everything with the community, we can like be the superhero together, like to do for the forest, right? So yeah, I think it's really nice. So thank you so much for your sharing, and I hope to see you again when we go to the panel discussion. And I really appreciate your story as like a young guy in the middle of forest until the day you like established the impact forest, and your point of view on like inviting the community to join hand with you on this like the big problems of the world. So I really appreciate that. Thank you for your sharing, and hope to see you in panel discussion. Okay, so